Hello, my name is Sarah Donahue, and today I will be talking about chromosomal abnormalities and how they impact children in their physical and language developments. I will also be talking about the resources available to families who are impacted. There are two types of chromosome abnormalities. They are referred to as a numerical abnormality and a structural abnormality. Numerical abnormality is when a mutation changes how many chromosomes a child has. For example, if a child has a chromosome 21 extra, they will be diagnosed with Down syndrome. Structural abnormality refers to a mutation that changes the structure of a chromosome. For example, a child has all of their chromosomes, but one has a deletion. Now that we have discussed the two types of chromosome abnormalities, I would like to speak about the impacts that each one has. For numerical abnormalities, I will be using Down syndrome as an example. For children with Down syndrome, language development is typically delayed because of low muscle tone in the mouth and jaw, hearing problems such as partial or full deafness, and a cognitive development. Children with Down syndrome typically learn to communicate in different ways, such as signing and gesturing before they learn to verbally communicate. Some of the things families and caregivers can do in order to help encourage language development are using visual aids, pointing and describing objects, and using sign language. The example I will be using for structural abnormalities is a partial chromosome 13 deletion. Reminder that this is not a full deletion. The child has the chromosome and is just missing a small part of it. For children with this deletion, it varies in severity. I will be using a child I know in this example. I will be referring to her as M. M has a small deletion on chromosome 13. This deletion has greatly impacted her language development. M is 18 months old and unable to verbally communicate, besides crying. M has a low muscle tone and brain abnormalities that impact her ability to make the necessary connections in order to speak. Children with structural abnormalities can benefit from the use of sign language, repetition, speech therapies, and lots of visual aids. Next, I will be talking about how each one can impact physical development. Children with Down syndrome often have delayed motor skills because of their low muscle tone. Although children with Down syndrome are typically able to meet physical developmental milestones such as rolling over, crawling, and walking, it is usually later than that of a typically developing child. Physical development and the chromosome 13 deletion. Children with a chromosome 13 deletion typically develop slower than other children. Like children with Down syndrome, they typically have low muscle tone. Children with this deletion can typically meet physical developmental milestones such as rolling over, sitting, standing, and walking. Typically, again, they meet these milestones later than a typical developing child. Things parents can do in order to help their child with their physical development include providing a good care team, such as a good physiotherapist, an occupational therapist, and an early interventionist. Support the care team at home. Follow any instructions given by the care team or any physio exercises given by the physiotherapist. Encourage and praising the child for any achievements. There are many helpful resources for children impacted by chromosomal abnormalities. For children with Down syndrome, there's a group called the National Association for Down Syndrome, or NADS. This association provides support for new parents or grandparents. This association's website provides information as well as links related to Down syndrome. There is a website specifically for the chromosome 13 deletion. This website provides a link to a Facebook page called Chromosome Deletion 13 Parent Support. This webpage consists of information surrounding the deletion and other medical conditions it may cause, as well as a support link. In conclusion, both of these abnormalities can greatly impact the way these children develop.